Greetings, we are the Arcturians and welcome to our message. As you are well aware, life has become increasingly intense the world over, and some of you may still question why you are here and what possible good you as one person can do. Some of you may have even pondered the idea of simply leaving, as many have already done. But on a deeper level, you know you are here for a reason and don't want to leave before you complete what you came to do. Try to remain detached from the negativity presently permeating the world, aware of but detached through remembering that Earth is in the process of exposing and clearing old energy. World consciousness is increasingly awakening to the futility, pain, and stupidity of war, which in turn is enlightening collective consciousness. The divine plan is unfolding in spite of appearances and will not be stopped or diverted by human attempts to do just that. Do not fear nuclear activity, for the beings of light assisting mankind will not allow this and have dismantled previous attempts in the past. Hold to truth in the presence of negativity and violence by acknowledging the divine nature of all involved, even though they themselves have no interest in knowing this. Nothing at this point is random, but rather is a facet of Earth's ascension process which cannot take place in a short moment. The spiritual ascension process personally and globally takes place as individuals awaken to the reality of oneness, allowing the effects of obsolete and false separation beliefs to dissolve. Your job, as we have said many times before, is to be a consciousness of truth regardless of outer appearances near or far, because you have been programmed over lifetimes to believe that it is only by doing in the outer scene that you accomplish something. Holding the light may feel to you as if you are doing nothing for the world. Living the spiritual life is not a life of doing nothing, rather three-dimensional doing evolves to spiritual doing. When life is lived from within, solutions to outer issues needing to be addressed in some way begin to automatically unfold intuitively, easily, and practically, manifestations of the divine harmony and wholeness present in your consciousness. Spiritual doing often takes place in ways you could not have anticipated or planned because they were not yet a part of your awareness. As individualized consciousness becomes enlightened and false beliefs fade away, the already fully present qualities of divine consciousness, intelligence, wisdom, creativity, completeness, harmony, etc. can begin to manifest outwardly as what is needed at the time. Mind interprets and forms the outer from the contents of individualized consciousness, be it conditioned with false beliefs or not. Mind interprets the self-sustained, self-maintained qualities of divine consciousness in ways that are practical and personal to the individual. A doctor may awaken to a new and better way of treatment for a problem patient. A mechanic may suddenly think of the solution to a difficult repair. An inventor may find the idea for something much needed in the world popping into thought. New and higher ideas and solutions can only manifest outwardly when allowed to flow from divine consciousness, where they exist in spiritual form as creativity, completeness, wholeness, harmony, etc. It is only beliefs of duality, separation, and two powers that have kept the qualities of Source already present in the consciousness of every individual from manifesting. Never forget that your consciousness is God consciousness individualized, making you a creator. What am I choosing to create? Human minds can only access what is already in the collective, and therefore creations of the human mind are limited to what is already known. You are all familiar with boring and repetitive music, art, and ideas created out of what is already known and bring nothing new. The great masters of music, art, and science, etc. have always drawn from the source of creativity within themselves, allowing new and previously unknown ideas to flow into form. Living from a state of conscious oneness with Source is very practical, but third-dimensional thinking has relegated it to being an impractical, false, and non-existent illusion. Centuries of living in separation from God and all other life forms has caused mankind to believe that they must work, struggle, war, and step on others in order to survive. However, evolution will always be ongoing because no one can pretend to be other than what they really are forever. It is important to examine your personal belief system and be very honest with yourself as you do it. What am I still believing that is making me feel this way? Is it true or simply what I have been told, believed, and have lived? Do I want to continue with the old ways because they make me feel accepted? Do you look in the mirror and hate what you see because it doesn't reflect some three-dimensional concept of what you think makes a person desirable, lovable, or acceptable? Do you look at your life, employment, education, relationships and believe that you are a failure because your choices don't reflect what society considers success and worthy of allowing you love and respect? Be very honest with yourself with regard to seemingly ordinary and harmless beliefs you may still entertain that actually represent separation. Everyone seeks to be loved and accepted, It cannot be avoided because there is only one, and the individualized expressions of that one are connected. The connecting energy of the one as many is what the world calls love. The connection between the many expressions of one is interpreted and experienced through the third-dimensional state of consciousness as a deep yearning and seeking for wholeness, completeness, love. Most are yet unaware of why they are driven to seek the things they believe will bring them acceptance and love. Even the criminal believes that his actions will bring him happiness in the respect of her peers. There is a seeking for love and acceptance at every level of awareness, but the universal ignorance of why this is so has resulted in a world prepared to do anything to attain what they believe to be outside of self. No one then actually accept that you are God in manifestation, not just a part of or one with, but the fullness. There is no you, Mary, Dick, or Joe. There is only you, individualized God, the I Am that is known as Mary, Dick, or Joe. A is a sacred word that is God and not ego. When the Master Jesus said, I am the way, he was referring to the Godhead within everyone and not just himself, a point that has been seriously misinterpreted over the ages. The universal ignorance of I Am has resulted in a hypnotism that continues to manifest as illusions of duality, separation, and the worship of many three-dimensional gods. Remembering who and what you are does not become an attained state of consciousness overnight, but is the beginning. Change begins in the vast and higher levels of consciousness and works through many energetic layers, lastly arriving at the lowest level, the material. Changes are taking place personally and globally and quickly becoming accessible to every individual, even though much is not yet manifesting on the material level. Do not give up hope or slip into believing that your work is doing nothing because you aren't seeing results, but rather trust that all is proceeding according to a divine plan. Live what you know, dear ones, because the spiritual genie cannot be put back in the lamp. We are the Arcturian group.